3, 2, 1. Let's get ready to go. I'm never gonna stop saying unbig your back or nigga. So you and Oprah both can get used to this because we in a free country. I still want to beat you though, Oprah. That was no disrespect.
And you want Weight Watchers. You want Weight Watchers.
And I want Weight Watchers. Well, I won't say it in a Weight Watchers commercial, but I'm a part of that community and I can say it. Nigga, 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 nigga. I'm also a part of the community, so I can say I'm big, 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 I'm big. And with that being said, I love it. It is the funniest shit that has come across my table in 2023. Unbig your back. I feel like we're taking control of the word like we took control of nigga. I don't say nigga with the hard ER because I'm not a racist other person. I am black. I say nigga with a GA. And yes, there is a difference. If you'd like to have that conversation, come over here. Unbig your back is funny. And if somebody say it to me, I'm going to bust out laughing. Even if they skinny, I'll be like, brush your teeth. Fix them. Do something. I'm going to find the worst point on them to talk about it. I love the term. It's funny. I got it from a younger group of people, my teenagers that I hang with from time to time. And I just latched on to it. It's almost like, you know, when somebody says something to you, but you flip it on them and it's no longer a source of hurt or pain. Now, Candice, I see that you don't take it that way because you feel like the skinny girls are using it, you know, but I also have to talk to you too, because you a big booty Judy and you're not the same type of fat as me.
You are now entering the Drink and Tell group chat with your hosts, Candice, Twana, Jocelyn, Micky, and Aja. Welcome to the group chat.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Drink and Tell. If this is your first time with us, welcome to our group chat. If this is your third time with us, because this is episode 3, thank y'all so much for listening to us, for subscribing, for liking all of the things. We're so excited about this episode. But before we get into today's episode, we have to have today's toast. We are all drinking Twisted Sisters. I have the Moscato. Who else? Does somebody have something different?
I think Twana has the Moscato too, but she can't get it right over there. I'm like,
this background will not let me.
Oh, Micky got the Moscato too.
You gotta
have the red
like
one.
I
have the red blend.
There we go.
Red blend. Twisted Sisters.
Who got the red blend?
I do.
Me and Joss.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Twisted Sisters is Black woman owned. That was started by a TSU alum. She's one of the founders and owners. Shout out to Ogachi.
Shout out to Gaethje. Hey, girl.
So everybody go order a bottle, get you some. I got the Moscato. It's good.
The red blend is really good. I started on this bottle before we started recording. Probably.
Of course you did.
I think that's also a disclaimer for her.
Maybe an hour before we started recording. It is really tasty. I'm enjoying it.
That definitely is a disclaimer for Joss. That she started an hour before we started recording.
The day has dayed and she needed a little. Micky too, though. Micky's done with her bottle, so we already
everybody, if you got a bottle of Twisted Sisters or whatever you are drinking with us, cheers. Today has today. So we hope wherever you are relaxing and enjoying yourself as you hang with us.
Welcome.
Now I have to get into today's group chat link that kind of got me a little sad. Y'all, Lizzo is getting sued. And she's getting sued by her former dancers for allegations that she has created and fostered a hostile work environment. Y'all can't see what this fool Micky is doing.
They can see it.
They can see it. I see it.
So part of this hostile work environment was that she did her dance captain was critiquing people who were not Christian, doing a strong evangelical, you should not be having sex before marriage, all of this stuff. But then we'll also tell them about her sexual fantasies and the fact that she would pleasure herself and call them oopsies. And then there's this conversation about the banana, and they were all in Amsterdam. And apparently what happens in Amsterdam doesn't necessarily stay there. So apparently Lizzo, one of the dancers is alleging that Lizzo made her touch another one of the performers' boobs and then allegedly simulate eating a banana out of the vajayjay of another one. And I, as somebody who wishes that I had a Lizzo growing up as a little girl, I am verklempt.
What's that word?
Wait, you are what?
That's an SAT word.
I am just so befuddled and just so, ugh. Is anybody else feeling like I am?
She was saying that they couldn't lose weight, or if they gained, what was it? I completely.
So there was an aspect of the lawsuit that alleges that one of the dancers was shamed for being overweight. Now, what
all of her dancers thick though? Isn't that the point?
Yeah, all of her, which is why
there was a reality show devoted to finding.
Absolutely.
No way.
So, yeah,
yes way.
It was called Watch Out for the Big Girls, and that's how she her dancers.
It was a whole competition.
So these girls were girls that were on the show, which is what threw a lot of people, because she actually ended up kicking one of the girls off of the show because she was fostering negativity, and she was like, "Look, we can't have you in this group." But I think so one of the things that's important is that in the lawsuit, they're alleging that Lizzo did some things directly, that the lady did something different, like the dance captain did some things, and production did some things, and that ultimately Lizzo is responsible because it's her team. Mm-hmm. So the whole body and fat shaming part, they didn't say Lizzo was a part of that, but they did say that there was this part where she made them rehearse all day for their spots again. And they were not allowed to go to the bathroom. One of the young ladies urinated on herself and was only given a pair of pants to change into.
But she's supposed to be empowering women that are not the stereotypical size. So I think that's what everybody's like, what? Mm-hmm. Lizzo?
Like, how you fat shaming when you're overweight? Like,
exactly.
Let's just put it out there,
like,
right?
And now you're shaming people and you pick people because of their weight, and now you're shaming them because of the same weight.
One of the young ladies, I watched a clip from an interview where she talked about how she feels like, of course they didn't say it, but she feels like she was fired because of her weight gain. She said they were making comments about her gaining weight. And then she said it's like she suffers from an eating disorder. And she said at one point when she revealed that to them, because she didn't, she wasn't revealing it to them for a while. And then she said at one point when she revealed it to them, she said she felt like they responded like, oh, kind of like, oh, that explains why you're gaining weight, sort of thing. So that was her perception of what was happening and what their thoughts were behind surrounding her saying that. So, but yeah, like that's part of that outrage for most people. Like, it's almost like unbelievable. Like, really? Like, could this really happen? Because Lizzo a big girl. So is Lizzo,
it's not even just that she's a big girl. It's what she stands for, right?
Right.
Her whole empowerment of body positivity, at least outward facing, it just doesn't match, right? So what's really going on?
And why would she employ people, or why would she have people on her team if this is her platform that are doing the opposite of what she's supposed to stand for? Like, why are you still employing these people if you don't support what it is that they're doing?
Right.
Because somebody with an eating disorder, they don't have to disclose that legally. They don't say anything. So, and even if they did, you can't fire somebody for that. I think it's crazy. This is crazy.
Right. And to add a Micky perspective, Weight Watchers, I lost 7 pounds in the first week on your program. And I went from,
You got that?
and I just want you to know that I would be the perfect candidate, unlike Lizzo right now, allegedly, to pump your brand in a positive way. And if anybody came out with lawsuits about me, they lying. And they mammy is too. So, Weight Watchers, cheers to you.
To you and your 7 pounds, Micky. Good job.
That's
Lizzo,
outstanding.
I mean, I'm in agreement with all you're saying about the Lizzo allegations and things that are going on and the fat shaming and body, yada, 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 all that good stuff. I mean, you know what? I guess hypocrite is what comes to mind. And I know that is a struggle for some because it seems like that wasn't who she was. And everybody was, I feel like a couple of months ago, weren't we in the corner because folks were really coming at her hard about certain things, and we were like, well, they're coming at her hard because not only is she a Black woman, but she's a big Black woman, so that's like a double down thing, which I feel like still some of the critique that's coming out is because she is a big Black woman and they're going out hard, but some of it's like, well, dang, homegirl, and you can't lean on that one, and you was doing some stuff that's off script.
Yeah.
So
But I also think it's important for us to note that, like, you can be fat and fat phobic. Like, just like people, you can be gay and be homophobic. You can, as Angelica Ross said the other day, like, you can be trans and transphobic. Like, there are ways that we have all internalized these kinds of, like, violent responses because we live in a world and in a society that's formed to make us see ourselves as kind of deviant, right? And so, like, you internalize that. So, like, I mean, even me myself, like, I have to fight the ways that I can be fat phobic, right? So I have to fight the ways that as I'm on a health journey, I need to always keep in the forefront that this is about me being healthier and living a longer life and a much more healthier life versus reverting to and resting in kind of like these laurels around weight loss that are fat phobic, right? That say that, like, the only way that you need to be in this world is skinny. And if you are bigger, you shouldn't be able to take up space, right? And so I was disappointed in the entire thing, right? Because one, there's a part of it that's okay. It's heartbreaking because it's Lizzo, because she has been, and I will argue still is, a light for a lot of people. And then there's the heartbreak that somebody experienced these things, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, they didn't just wake up yesterday and say, we're going to tell full-fledged lies. Like, there were some experiences that they had that are just heart-wrenching to know that people could do that, right? And people could do that to other people. And so I think part of it for a lot of us is like, how do we figure out what it even means to be in this world in our quote unquote bodies and be okay with who we are, right? Because every day, Lizzo, somebody uses her in a conversation or as a point to be made about why somebody should not look like that, right? That, like, she's too this, and you're not gonna tell me that don't get to her. You know, there have been times where she's been on social media and cried about how she's been treated. And I do think that sometimes, even when she tries to say it doesn't faze her, it does.
Yeah.
And so there's the space of, like, what does it look like to internalize that and possibly project that onto other people?
Candice, has she released a statement? Has she said anything about these allegations?
I think she did.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
She did. It was like 2 days afterwards. She was like, look, she did say, like, that she goes hard with her performances. And so, like, in some kind of way, like, she kind of said, like, I create a top tier dance experience and performance. But then she also said, like, there are some of these allegations that are a lie. and go completely against my character, and I'm going to defend them. And so she fought really hard to clear her name. There were some places where she was like, where if you read between the lines, it was her saying like, okay, like some of this I might have been a part of. All of this. And it does not help that kind of like the worst ones, people have found like clips of talking about
corroborating it.
So like some of the comments, and I mean, some of, people are coming from different angles, right? So like I saw some comments about how, well, regardless of whether or not she typically hires plus size dancers, like you have to be able to, obviously as a dancer, you have to, be able to keep up a certain amount of stamina and, perform a certain way, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So if the weight gain caused her to start underperforming, then, blah, blah, blah. And then of course, other people chimed in like, being overweight don't mean you out of shape either. Like being fat don't mean you out of shape. And that, one person specifically talked about how they were a dancer, and she was like, there was an overweight girl on my team who danced me up under the table. Like, like that don't mean, she was not performing. And then she responded, and they were saying that she responded saying that like her performance didn't change at all. Like her performance, which is another reason that she was so taken aback from being fired, because, even though she had gained weight, she didn't feel like her performance had changed. So,
okay.
But I think there's a stigma.
Yeah, she allegedly probably didn't eat that banana.
I'm with you.
Sounds like it was one of the initiation tools. Like you gotta eat the banana to get the job. Allegedly. Candice, is that what you gotta say so you don't get sued? Allegedly.
I don't even think that works. Because everybody uses allegedly, I think you can still get sued.
Okay.
Right.
But I think there's a stigma around people assuming that because you're skinny, you're healthy, and if you're not skinny, that you're not healthy.
True that.
And that is crazy as hell to me.
Yeah, we were talking about it in the group chat the other day.
Yeah, we were.
I think we posted pictures at our lowest points. I think at least 3 of us were the thinnest we'd ever been. And I can't speak for y'all. I felt terrible.
Yeah.
That weight.
Yeah. Nobody should be that small. I mean, you shouldn't. It's not natural. You're not losing weight in a healthy manner, and therefore you're not healthy, and your body responds to that. Me personally,
right.
The skinnier I get, my body shuts down. I don't have a cycle. Like at one point I thought I couldn't have kids because I didn't have a period for like 2 years because I was so unhealthy. I was so skinny that my body was just not working correctly.
And thinking back through that time, what's so funny is like, to your associates, you look fabulous, right? Like, oh my God, you look amazing. But to the people who know you, like I remember one of my best girlfriends, Marsha, pulling me to the side, like nobody loses weight that fast healthily. Mm-hmm. I went back to Tennessee for a work trip. I told y'all, Angela Lake was like, she gonna eat a cheeseburger and then she gonna tell us why she looked like a crackhead.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's interesting that even in those dark times when you feel like you're covering it up and you look fabulous, hair flourishing and everything, you feel terrible, but you don't think anybody else knows, but your friends see you differently.
Yeah.
I always say, if I'm skinny, I'm not happy. So if I'm red alert.
Listen,
this actually for us is a kind of a really great segue. I think we're all going to be watching to see, or waiting to see, how this whole situation with Lizzo plays out. It's unfortunate.
It is.
It's really disappointing. So I mean, I don't think we have any other words other than unfortunate and disappointing.
Well, I do. Like now you got me concerned. I thought saying allegedly was gonna keep me out of trouble, Candice. You supposed to be on this because I'm new to this and I'm not Hollywood. I will drag a bitch and I will hit you with a chair now because that's what we're using. And I'm not getting sued. I don't have nothing. You're not getting my pension. I promise you. I will hit you with several chairs.
I think we're gonna be fine.
I got lawyers for you, Micky. I got lawyers on.
Yeah, we're gonna be fine because you did not say anything that is not a public record.
And I said allegedly. So now allegedly is not the safe word.
That doesn't stop you. That does not stop you from being sued.
It doesn't. I'm just starting saying apples in front of it.
At least what you reported on what is already news and factual. Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not it's true and actually happened, that is for the courts to decide. But
So before you segue, Candice, I'm going to say, so I go on record as saying it, I was reading from the actual affidavit.
Good job.
Okay.
Good job, Micky.
So today's theme of this episode, and we're all excited because this is our body yada 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 yada. It's our body episode. One, because as women, we don't really get an opportunity to talk much about collectively about our bodies and our health journeys. I think if we notice, there's been something in kind of like the zeitgeist right now with everybody trying to get healthier, right? Like you're seeing women who are reversing many of their cosmetic procedures. You're seeing women who are taking to social media to say, hey, I am dedicating this year to my health, follow this journey. And a lot of that we've come out of, even though we still have COVID around, we are coming out of the most intense part of the global pandemic when we were all in the house, sheltering in place. Some of us put on a little bit more than others. Some of us, our bodies, even if we were not gaining weight because we were eating or not working out, a lot of us just weren't healthy because it was a lot going on. And like, it was an emotional time for the world. And so now that we are kind of like out from under that weight, you see people doing stuff. I'm gonna say, and you're gonna laugh, while I am excited and happy that we are all getting healthier, I am one of those people. I'm gonna tell y'all what pisses me off. This whole unbig your back movement.
Here comes Micky.
Here we go.
Me off. Because it is the most derogatory.
Tell them why you mad.
Like, if you have never been somebody who has had to lose a significant amount of weight and been called like a wide back heifer,
Not heifer, damn.
I'm from North Carolina.
Hey, so
I was gonna say that's southern.
I'm from North Carolina. That's the first thing. You was a heifer, and if you big, you a wide back heifer. And like, if you've never been called those things, to say like unbig your back, like to as this health move, like I'm seeing girls on Instagram who back ain't never been big for real, saying they unbigging their back because they got an eighth of a roll in the back that's hanging out their bra line. No, you are not unbigging your back. You are losing 3 pounds. There's a difference. And we need to quit saying unbig your back anyway, because it is reinforcing fat phobia. And that's
she's talking to Micky.
She's talking to Micky because here comes Micky in 5.
Oh, watch this. 3, 2, 1. Let's get ready to go. I'm never gonna stop saying unbig your back or nigga. So you and Oprah both can get used to this because we in a free country. I still want to beat you though, Oprah. That was no disrespect.
And you want Weight Watchers. You want Weight Watchers.
And I want Weight Watchers. Well, I won't say it in a Weight Watchers commercial, but I'm a part of that community and I can say it. Nigga. I'm also a part of the community, so I can say unbig. And with that being said, I love it. It's the funniest shit that has come across my table in 2023. Unbig your back. I feel like we're taking control of the word like we took control of nigga. I don't say nigga with the hard ER because I'm not a racist other person. I am black. I say nigga with a GA. And yes, there is a difference. If you'd like to have that conversation, come over here. Unbig your back is funny. And if somebody say it to me, I'm going to bust out laughing. Even if they skinny, I'll be like, brush your teeth. Fix them. Do something. I'm going to find the worst point on them to talk about it. I love the term. It's funny. I got it from a younger group of people, my teenagers that I hang with from time to time. And I just latched on to it. It's almost like you know, when somebody says something to you, but you flip it on them and it's no longer a source of hurt or pain. Now, Candice, I see that you don't take it that way because you feel like the skinny girls are using it, you know, but I also have to talk to you too, because you a big booty Judy and you're not the same type of fat as me. I am built like, let's go on with it, SquarePants. What was his name? SpongeBob. I am. I'm the letter P, nigga. Like, and so when I hear you talking, I'm like, but you built like, bang, 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 bang. That's all I think about.
Candice got that body, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, she got that body, yada, yada. And
yada,
when she be
yada.
shooting them videos from the back and them saints be wanting to say something, but they can't because they know she'll get at them. But she purposely kind of thirst trapping their asses with that big booty that be in front of them in her workout and be like, what's his little trainer? Damon.
I be commenting.
Damon gonna get me. Damon's gonna work me out today because you know she got that Southern Baptist and that Missionary Baptist and that North Carolina. Damon gonna get me today, and she walk away from the camera. And I'm like, she know that big booty is thangin'. That thing is what Asia.
That thing is thangin'.
That thing is thangin'. Anyway, so she's a different type of big or thick as well. You not created equal either. I'm over here for all the ones that got the belly that look weird, the shape like the letter P, ain't got no hips, but you got love handles and you trying to flex like they hips and they really not because they up too high. If you know, Jocelyn don't because she ain't built like that. So I'm gonna keep saying unbig your back, and it is what it is. I feel like I went on a tangent, but I'm sorry.
It's okay. We expected it. We knew it was coming.
Yeah. Candice baited me. It was a trigger. And she kept doing it. Oh, you unbiggers, and stop saying unbig and unbig. I'm like, she said unbig like 5 times.
So mean. Like if somebody came up to me and said unbig your back, I would punch them. Like I really would hit them. Because that is such a mean thing to say to somebody.
I think this should become a poll. Like, are people offended by it? Or are people empowered to
put that in our stories?
Definitely, everybody is not created equal, because I would not want to hear from people who have not struggled with weight their whole lives.
And that's what I'm going to be quiet on this. I was told that I can't have nothing to say.
Nobody said that.
No, Micky said I can't, because she said that's skinny. I can't say nothing. First of all, I'm not skinny. Second of all, I'm not skinny. You've seen me skinny. I'm not skinny. I'm not skinny. The goal is not to be skinny. That's not even my goal. I don't even want to be skinny. That's not even in the realm of what I want to do. But I'm just glad. I'm glad that people are focusing on their health. I'm glad that there is a movement to get people to move, but the goal should not be to be skinny, because everybody's not going to be skinny. You have to figure out what's going to work for your body and then work towards that.
He said, you big ass lying down, because I'm glad y'all walk it now. Yeah. I read between the lines, Aja. I just helped out.
No, those were not my lines.
But Aja, I wanted you to talk, because you didn't bring it up, but I did want you to talk about, you said earlier, you talked about how when you were skinnier, you weren't healthier. Like, what was the journey like for you as somebody who, to be honest, always knowing you, I was like, oh, like she got boobs and she's skinny. Like, this is like
but all I have is boobs.
Yeah, I mean, she had a little curve down there. Okay, that would be, but I was the top part of you was like, if I could have it, I would. So like, what was the journey for you as somebody who would be what people would say is kind of like this ideal shape?
I've always had issues with my body. I was a competitive swimmer, so I was in a swimsuit every day, all year for 11 years. I had large breasts. I had a breast reduction. I was very self-conscious. I mean, looking back, I guess I was skinny, but I didn't see it that way. Got to college, when I'm stressed, I lose a lot of weight. I mean, I lose it unintentionally. I love food. Anybody that knows me I love food. Even eating, it just melts off of me. And so I struggled with trying to gain weight because I knew size 0. I mean, I wore a size 0 and it was a little too big, and that's not good. And once I got to the point of being happy and all the weight came on, I didn't even know how to manage that because I had been so small for so long. So I became very self-conscious about that. And as time has gone on, you know, you have children and then you struggle with the weight after children. And it's always been a battle for me trying to find what my body should look like. I'm tall. So being 130 pounds is not it for me. It's not skinny. Like I said, skinny is not the goal. And it wasn't until I was 41 that I realized that being 165 pounds was my sweet spot. And if you would have asked me that, if you would have told me 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, that I was gonna be 165 pounds and be in the best shape of my life and love my body, I would have thought you were crazy. Because
she looked good too, y'all. We was at her house last month and she was walking around her bra and stuff because, you know, she don't care. We used to let her
I
go.
don't. I like being naked. But we'll get to that in another episode.
I meant to tell her because I pick at her a lot, but I pick at her because I love her. That's our love language with each other. But she looked really, really fit. She looked good.
Mm-hmm. And it just and I think that for me, with everyone getting on their health kick, figuring out where you want to be and realistic goals that you can maintain. Because if you start working out just to lose weight, well, the weight's going to come and go. So you have to find a lifestyle that's manageable for you on a daily basis forever. That's right. It's not for a set period of time, because if you do it for a set period of time, shut up, Micky. I'm not.
No, there was a shout out Weight Watchers. Keep going, Aja. Ooh, I feel like, Candice, that is a perfect segue for something. What do you think?
Go ahead, Candice.
Give it to him. Agree. I wanted to, part of this conversation, I think, which is why I was glad you shared that, is because a lot of us don't get the opportunity to share our body journeys, because we're always told like, oh, well, like, really it's categorized as the skinnies and the fats, right? And like, if you are not fat, you're skinny. And if you skinny, then you're fine. And that is so not even true. When I was younger, there was when I got to TSU, I'll never forget, when I got to college, this guy told me, he was like, there's a difference between being thick and fat, and you're about to become fat. And
that's like 2 cookies away. You know, people used to say she's two cookies
or 2 cheeseburgers away.
Yeah. And he was like you
he would have got cussed out.
You need to come back over because you finna be fat. And like, I look back at like it's crazy because I look back at high school pictures. I look back at pictures of me when I was at TSU, and that was the healthiest. It was the smallest that I was, but it also was the healthiest that I was. Like, I walking that campus every day, walking that hill to go up the hill hall, and like the ways that like we did that every single day and didn't think about it. Like, we're walking campus, like we're being physical, moving. We're moving. Like I never thought about, just how much. I look back at pictures and I'm like, I was in my head so much that like, I literally like was trying to like, I was doing all of this crazy stuff to my body in college to try to be skinnier, and like, I look at pictures now and I'm like, girl, if I was there where I am, like, I would be fine. Like, I think it's so crazy how we're in our heads. And I'm in this like space now where I'm doing this 75 hard. It's this 2-day, you work out twice a day. It's a couple of us who do it. Let Aja tell, it's not a weight loss.
Medium me, please.
But it is. I don't do it.
It for sure is.
It for sure is not. It is not. You will lose weight in the process, but it is not designed to be a weight loss program.
Okay.
Save it, Aja. You got some time where you can talk about it today, Haunted.
But here's the thing. What weight loss fitness program has never said it's not about weight loss, it's about a mind shift and a mind change? All of them say that.
Yeah, all of them say that.
Weight Watchers don't say that, does it? It's about losing weight.
Wait, Micky, what?
No, Weight Watchers. She said, what program? Weight Watchers is about changing your relationship with food.
I like your verse right there. But here's the thing. They all say it's not about weight. It's not about losing weight. It's not about the fitness, blah, blah, blah. But guess what happens?
It is about the fitness.
Well, no, it's not about losing weight. It's not about all that other stuff. But guess what? In all of their advertisements, they're going to tell you that you're going to lose weight. They're going to tell you that you're going to feel healthier. Like even with 75 Hard, the fact that you are doing before and afters, and they are before and afters of your body.
I never took the pictures, FYI.
Well, then you didn't do 75 Hard because
I didn't do the pictures. Sorry. For me to be able to work out, be in the car 5 hours a day, meal prep and all that, I don't need the pictures. I know how my clothes fit. I'm good.
But here's the thing. This is why I say people need to quit talking about that. It's not about the physical. It's not about the weight loss on the physical part. Because if you're asking me to show you, and if you are advertising the before and afters, and it is about people's bodies and their physical appearances, then you ain't asking people how many books they read and what are the most foundational and transformational aspects that they read out that damn book. Like
but they want you to see how your body has changed when you make these changes. But it's not about diet. It could be about your muscle mass. It could be the whole. It's a bigger picture, in my opinion.
Here's the thing,
and we are never going to agree. Ever.
I can add color to this conversation and tell you why I quit 75 medium before I started.
Could it be because you're already ideal body weight?
That's not actually true, Mick. So let me explain.
I quit 75 medium before I started.
Because the data flying back and forth between you and Aja in the group chat, I was like, well, I'd rather do something sustainable. I have all the resources to do something sustainable. There's a Peloton in my house that I rolled my eyes at for the better part of the entire, if I'm honest, the entire pandemic. I didn't get on that bike at all. Check my record. If you follow me, I did not get on that bike. But when I did, I felt better. And I had to uncouple my why from a goal weight. When I really thought about why it was important for me to get healthy, I thought about watching my grandmother transition. I thought about watching some of the struggles as my mom and my aunt's age that they have. And I know that for me, it's more important that the financial and health decisions that I make today don't become my kids' responsibilities 10, 20, 30 years down the line. And let me be clear, it was my absolute honor to spend that week taking care of my grandmother. I mean, she took care of us every day of her life. It's my honor to go home anytime my mom needs me because she's an incredible mother. And I have the privilege of going home and taking care of her. But I want to live healthy and have full mobility and be able to move around and be independent for as long as I can. And that became my why. And feeling good became my why. Like there's a pronounced difference when I'm taking care of myself. Like I might look good, but there's a pronounced difference in how I feel. Like there are things that I'm now paying attention to in my body. Like I can't eat a whole fast food combo in my 40s. It's gross. I can't.
His face was like, wait, you can't?
Why you eat fast food?
I can't eat fast food. Like I cannot eat a full combo. I get sick. I can't eat a whole bag of chips.
I wish I got sick.
I don't feel well anymore. Y'all, I've just figured out that I love brown liquor. Brown liquor does not love me back.
Jocelyn.
And I've listened.
Jocelyn. I can say that you're financially healthy because you said you had a Peloton in your house, and I know how much they cost. You and another person that's on this call. Both y'all got
I want that tread, but I refuse to pay for that.
Yeah, I want the rower, but not.
I'm getting a tread. I'm definitely getting a tread.
I want the rower.
I've had in my office for a couple years, and I've used it once. I had to sell it. It was just using space.
Well, Aja, you'll be my dear Santa letter too, but Candice and Jocelyn definitely getting a Christmas list from me because both of them got Pelotons in their house, and it tells me that they've been financially responsible and healthy this year. Yeah.
I mean, okay. Micky, your list gets long.
It does.
Micky's list have lists.
That's his own show, Micky's List. Like that should be its own show.
We should have a Micky's List show.
Separating the why, I think is crucial. Like for me, I had to really reckon with the fact that like my mom on her, and I was telling this to, I was walking with, she's one of all of our friends, and she's one of your line sisters, and Tasha, and I shared with her on my mom's death certificate, my mom had an asthma attack, but on her death certificate, they put complications of obesity. And they literally told me it was an asthma attack, but that's not what they put on her death certificate. And when I try my best to get that changed, they told me that she would have to do I would have to do an autopsy, get her exhumed and all. I mean, it was just the worst experience, but to have her seen that way, and then to also not have any of my father's medical history beyond the fact of like, he dealt with alcoholism and addiction and now is doing dialysis. Like that for me was like, okay, these are the two people whose DNA makes me. And then my grandmother passed in September of last year. And I have these two special needs cousins who, I'm not the oldest. I am, and we have aunts and uncles that are living, but that was something that my grandmother entrusted into me. And I'll never forget, I woke up one day and was like, if something happens to me, who will Mark and Reggie have? Mm-hmm. And that really became the motivation for me. And then somewhere around March of this year, I woke up and I was like, you're not even on your own list. Like, I realized that it's great that I wanted to get healthy so that I could be the best and I could be and be present for Mark and Reggie. But damn it, I need to be doing this for me. Like, and I didn't realize that I had put everybody before me. Mm-hmm. And then it became this point of like, my time working out really became sacred, and like nothing could touch that. Like nothing could touch it. So much so that I remember feeling guilty because I had to go home for something. And I remember going in the group chat and being like, am I wrong? Because I just don't want to go home for this. Like it's gonna, I'm gonna have to reschedule going to the gym. And I just want to go to the gym. I want to go to the gym. And like for me, so like Aja, you are correct. It wasn't always about weight and the weight part, because there are so many pieces to just my life that I got back because I was working out that I didn't even know that I lost. Like going to the gym and realizing that like I'm putting me before other people. I am doing something that I love, and then it becomes a habit. So the moment that like something does not align with who I want to be and where I want to be, I'm saying no. I would have never done that a year ago. We are moving into Drink and Tell, and Drink and Tell, child, is the opportunity for y'all to share with us anonymously something that you are going through that you need the group chats wisdom. And I use that word in air quotes. Wisdom and opinion on. And y'all, this one is a doozy. So here we go. I've been with my man for 3 years. We live together. Through some ups and downs, we've decided to split, but he has nowhere to go and our lease isn't up until the end of the year. This leaves us 5 months in the same house together, but broken up. We both have teenagers in the house, so there's no extra space. We still have to sleep together in the same bed. We still have to sleep in the same bed together because we both refuse to move to the couch. How would you all cope with this? Would you open yourself to dating even though you are living with an ex? So here's the thing. Your last question would you open yourself to dating even though you are living with an ex is incorrect. You are not living with an ex. You are sleeping with an ex. And that is a very different thing.
For sure.
So if you cannot wait 5 months to start dating, then I suggest you roll over and look at the guy who is right beside you and sing "Let's Stay Together," because nobody needs to be added into the mess that you got going on. What say y'all?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even see how anyone would be cool with that. Like anyone coming in that she would, him or her would be dating, right? Because who finna do that? Like who finna?
They're dating. It's not like the person is going to be in a relationship within the next 5 months. They're dating. They're in the streets. They're getting in the streets, right?
You don't know that.
Right.
Well, I'm just speaking from what I'm assuming. I'm assuming that they mean, is it okay for me to start going out with other people? I would say yes. So you got your bench so that you can, you got to get that roster together. So when he moves out, stop looking like that. You get the roster together so when he moves out, you ready to hit the ground running, in my opinion. But that mother sucker gonna have to be on the couch, okay? You're gonna get on the couch.
I think that both of you are not financially healthy at this point. And instead of thinking about some new dingling, you need to either get a side hustle, another income stream, or something. Because what I saw was neither one of you could break that lease or get out of it. And that's
or handle it by themselves.
You're sharing this bed. Well, this is my thing though. If it's really time for me to go, because guess what? Pick me. I've broken leases before, left a whole husband before. And I was ready to make that jump regardless of the lease being there. So the last thing on your mind should be thinking about a new man. You need to figure out a strategy to get your stuff straight for the next 5 months so you can do what you need to do. This ain't the time to be worried about forming a new relationship when you still, like Katie said, are in the mix of whatever you got going on right now.
Yeah.
It costs to date players. Can we say that? I know people don't like to put that on the table. And that doesn't mean being materialistic or taking you to 5-star restaurants, but just to be out there and be in a healthy space and not living with an ex, but in the same bed, but not together, but got 2 kids and 3 upstairs. Like, that's a lot going on.
Yeah.
You need to fix that.
Yeah, I can't picture a scenario where a man would sit across from me and say, I still live with my ex, and I wouldn't get up and, pay for my own meal. And
okay, well, I can't say that because my ex, his baby mama lived in the house our entire relationship, but that's another story.
I'm gonna need you to tell that story. But what I wanted to say was I would
all 6 years.
Hold on. Give me
Josh,
a sec.
Finish that thought.
We're gonna come back. What I would say, my first piece of advice, spend the next 5 months creating a model for your kids, because your kids are watching this shit show and creating their own opinions about you in this shit show.
And possibly habits.
And those habits, right? I would also...
What does that look like, Joss?
What
like working on yourself while you're still in the house with your ex, like...
First of all, I hesitate to call this her ex, because if they are still in the house, on some level, they're going to creep back, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's in-house. It's too convenient for you.
In-house. Not still in-house.
In-house.
Right.
It ain't even in-house. It's in bed.
We gotta use
roll over
correct terminology, because in-house, because I know people who were in-house. They were in separate rooms.
Yes.
Okay.
I have seen that has happened before, and I know people who have done that. But when you are in, and even in them situations where they was in-house, sometimes they backtrack. Yep. But when you are in bed, I wish I would.
And so, Twana, to answer
and be over, come help me.
Twana, to answer your question, that looks like going to therapy. That looks like creating, like Micky said, your financial plan. That looks like reading some books, figuring out what you like to do by yourself again, because you do need to spend some time with yourself before you head on out to the bar and say, yeah, I'm single, but I got this dude back home.
Gotcha.
Who might have a problem with you coming to the house, so I'm gonna just stay here. That's what it looks like to me. But
Yeah.
my biggest thing is like your kids are watching. So navigate this carefully, sis.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's judging. Just move carefully.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you said that piece. I want to say that, like, I know mine came out without filter, but I was just talking off the dome. Like, this is not a judgment. This is real talk. There are some things along the way. There's some gaps in there that you've missed, whether it be financially, him as well, because he can't move. So you guys have created a situation that isn't ideal for either one of you, but you're having to do it, which means let's repair the things that aren't ideal so that when this 5 months is over, we can be prosperous.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when somebody, like, date yourself, when somebody comes through 5 months from now and asks you what you like to do, you'll have an answer. You know, when they ask what your priorities are, you'll have an answer.
Facts.
Just work on you for now.
We
hope this helps. We hope we were helpful to you.
And you got this countdown is on, shawty. Countdown.
Let us know what happens after those 5 months and what parts you've worked on for like your plan. Let us know how that works. Reach back out to us. And if you have a drink and tell that you want to share, hit our links up on our social media, send it to us. Again, it's anonymous. We will never share your name or your information. So you can be as juicy and detailed as you want to be. And
maybe I need to submit one.
And
but
nobody will know.
Y'all know all my business. It don't matter.
I was thinking
link will also
submit one.
The link will also be, if you're watching this on YouTube, the link will be in the video. And if you're listening via the podcast, the link will also be in the show notes. So
nice.
Bam.
So, you know, we are still introducing our show, and we told you in our first episode that all of us have our own special, unique segment. As she told you before, she is a foodie, loves all things food. But at the same time, some things can also get on her nerves.
A lot of them.
We would like to introduce you all to the segment that we call What's Eating Aja? Aja, take it away.
Not too long ago, on my stories, I talked about Ozempic, and so it just happens to kind of coincide with this episode because I'm concerned about this obsession with quick fixes, like in the form of a drug that is meant to be for people with type 2 diabetes, that they can't even get the drug because y'all trying to use it to lose weight. This is a drug that's used for a chronic illness. This is not like I do it for a few months and then, no, this is something that people take forever to deal with type 2 diabetes. There is actually a drug made by the same company, but you can't get that either. So because you can't get that drug, doctors are prescribing, and that drug is also not covered by insurance. Ozempic is covered by insurance. So doctors are prescribing Ozempic to people for weight loss. The issue is that it causes crazy side effects. Like, isn't there a lawsuit for stomach paralysis or something right now? Like, you can't be mad because you got stomach paralysis when you're not using it for what it's supposed to be used for in the first place. Like, that's the audacity.
Say allegedly.
But then what happens? Like, are you taking this for the rest of your life? Are you obese and you're taking this to lose a massive amount of weight? Or are you taking this to lose 5 or 10 pounds? Like, is it really worth it? It takes you however long to gain weight. So why is it that people are so obsessed with losing weight? Like, they want to lose it immediately. Like, that's not a healthy way to do anything, because once you get off of Ozempic, you gain the weight right back if you're continuing to do the same things that you were doing before. Now you just don't have the nausea or the diarrhea or the stomach paralysis. So you can really go in on that food that you've been wanting anyway. I don't get it. I mean, I understand that I've never been overweight. Yes, I understand that. But I've also always loved food. My dad is the most amazing cook. I cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. But there is a healthy way to love food. And if I wanted to be gluttonous, I would not try to take a drug that's going to physically make me ill. I wouldn't enjoy the food no more. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Can somebody make it make sense to me? Because it does not make sense to me. Let the people, I know people with diabetes that were not able to get the drug for 2 months. because of people prescribing it for weight loss.
I had a friend.
Something else, people. I mean,
Yeah.
even the people that get the stomach thing and they eat the same, guess what? You gain the weight back. You stretch this.
I can't wait.
But let me tell you something, Weight Watchers and them points.
I can't wait for the big backs of Chicago to come for your ass, babe. All the big backs is coming for your ass. So hate mail. Jocelyn, send me the audio recording so I can listen to them at work.
The facts are the facts. It don't matter. It's eating me. It's bothering me. I just want to understand, why would you put yourself through something that's not going to be a long-term fix? So when
they sit on the toilet, they barely hit their coochie, and that's just uncomfortable.
Yeah, but once they get off the Ozempic, they gain the weight right back. Most people, the majority of people will gain it back, it said, within several months.
Same reason you fuck a bum nigga, because that dick good, and you do it again, even though you know it's a bum nigga. I mean, I'll give you rationale, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I understand that rationale. That I can understand. But
it's the same, unfortunately, it's the same rationale. We live in a society, in a world that instant gratification is the way to go and is the move.
But it's not sustainable. Like,
never mind.
I mean,
people get lipo and think the fat won't come back. It will come back. Like,
but instant gratification in any circumstance or situation ain't sustainable, but we like it anyway. Like, I
love the way you put that.
I think the danger for me has been, yes, you have people who need this drug who cannot get it. And you have people who are putting themselves and their bodies in an extremely dangerous situation because they are taking something that is not meant for them.
Correct.
So what does it mean for us to say, like, okay, sis, like,
let's try something else.
Yeah, let's do something else, because you are not, like, why create, and you gonna be like, you snatched. I got friends that I'm like, you look good,
but you acting crazy, and that's what concerns me.
Because they hungry.
You wake up every morning and you feel like you got a brick in your chest because your stomach is hurting. Yeah. And so, like, it's a lot of people. And the scary part is that a lot of people would rather deal with the side effects than to be fat. And that is because we live in a fat phobic society. We live in a society that says it is better for you to be dead than for you to be alive and fat. And we need, and so when you live in a world that way, while you may not agree with it, you definitely can understand where people are coming from and why
I get, but it's like, it's just not sustainable. I mean, I'm like, but it's not sustainable. And then you're going to be right back at square one. You might even be worse off after the fact once you get off of it.
I think your language probably we need to move from it's not sustainable to it's dangerous.
It is dangerous.
Like this is like, it's almost like every day we are seeing new stories about the dangers of taking Ozempic, and you are not, and it is
and
not
new side effects.
New side effects.
Because I'm still trying to wrap my head around, what is stomach
paralysis? Like,
what does that look like? How does that play out?
What does that feel like to make you want to continue to take it? Like, what the fuck?
And that's what's eating Aja.
That's what's eating Aja. Yes.
Thank you.
You can follow Aja Eats It All on Instagram. I do love to eat.
That's the one. I think that's the one that's public. Aja.
That is the one that's public. I legit love food. Anywho.
Thank you guys for tuning into this episode. Get your Twisted Sisters, because this episode was brought to you by Moscato, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. We will see you all again soon.
What's our next episode? Is it sex? Are we doing the sex episode next?
Let's go with it. Yes.
That's my episode. Tune in. It's going to be highly entertaining.